Jesse Minter speaks to the Baltimore media. Jadeveon Clowney reunion. Stefon digs to Baltimore. That and so much more on this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Welcome back, and a happy Friday Eve, happy Thursday, and happy episode 395 of the Purple Rain Podcast. The Zach Sealer, Derek Wolf, Sam Adams, Jarrett Johnson, Capron Lewis Moore, Rick Lyle, and most recently, Tavius Robinson edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. Hashtag extend him before it gets too late. I'll tell you that right now. I'd love to see him in purple and black for many more years to come. It's like a breakout year's on the way. We'll get in that a lot later. But welcome back to episode 395 of the Purple Rain Podcast, the Friday Eve edition. And first off, if you are in the chat, if you are replay gang, let us know. Hashtag replay gang for those watching afterwards. If you're in the chat, let us know. Come up on screen. A lot to talk about, of course, per usual. April 2nd. We are exactly 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. 21 days for those who are counting. A lot, is going to happen in between then. But since you're here, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram, simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yes, it is another Thursday, and still a lot of Ravens news to talk about. A lot of rumors. We have our quarterback co-signing on an old friend to come on back. Of course, the rumor mill is going crazy whenever it is with the Ravens. You throw the Ravens in the headline, you'll get clicks. You'll get people talking about it. What's freaking new? But yes, we are here to talk about this. How are you feeling? It's been a couple of days since we talked. We've got some Ravens news. Schedule news. We're playing in Brazil. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I mean, I know how you feel about the whole Brazil thing, and honestly, we didn't talk about that pre-show. We definitely got to get into that. But that's funny that you bring that up. But no, I'm feeling good, man. Like I just told you before we started the show, man. I'm looking forward to the weekends. I'm looking forward to my weekend traditions. I know you're looking forward to seeing Arsenal whoop up on Southampton this Saturday. So
I'm wearing an MLS team, but yes, Arsenal.
I'm gonna have to tune into that. What time did you say that comes on again?
It's 2 o'clock your time, 3 o'clock my time. If we do play the team, we have a 16-year-old, freshly 16-year-old named Max Dowman. Kid is unbelievable. Made his debut at 15. He is the youngest goal scorer ever in Premier League history. Kid just has it. He'll go straight to the top. Watch out for him if you do watch.
16
He wears
years
number
old.
56. Yeah, he made his debut at Liverpool, I believe, which is one of the hardest places to play in the whole world at 15 years old. Just wrap your mind around that. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's imagine you're 15 and you get thrown on Ravens Steelers primetime Heinz Field.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit apples to oranges. I mean, American football, man, that kid's getting his bones crushed, caved in. You know what I mean? Football, actual, international football, a little bit different, but I get what you're saying. But in terms of like the stakes and the pressure, OMG. I can only imagine. That's wild.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, this is episode 395 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through to this episode. Please be sure, before we get into anything else, please like the video, guys. Leave a like on this video. Let me actually check the likes right now as we're watching live here. How many likes we got? We got 24. We got 26 people watching, 17 likes so far. So let's go ahead and get those likes up, man. Get the thumbs up on the video. And again, like Alex said, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for coming through to this episode of PRP. Make sure you leave a like on the video as well and comment down below with the hashtag replay gang, your thoughts, questions, comments, and concerns for this episode here of the show. Again, appreciate y'all for coming through. Glaucoma says it here, man. I mean, this is a throwback right here. You got to like the video so the kids can eat. You know what I'm saying? Kids don't eat if the video is not liked. I don't know how long you've been watching exactly, Glaucoma, but that is a throwback here on PRP. So appreciate you, brother, for bringing that up. But it's the truth. It's the truth, man. Kids don't eat if you don't like the vid. So go ahead and like the video for us. We'd appreciate it. But like you said, Alex, we got some things to talk about. First and foremost, I think we should just go ahead and start because I said we were going to start with the whole mentor thing because we didn't get your takes on that. But let's go ahead and start with the Brazil thing. right?
Mhm.
Since I know you have some feelings about Brazil and whatnot and
Yeah.
traveling there. Ravens are going to play the Cowboys in Brazil in a designated away game in week 3. What is your reaction to that?
Um, I think it's getting to the point now with the 18 games rumored, every team will play international game. I think we
Mhm.
know that. Glaucoma, thank you for that since day one.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll go back
yeah.
to the first episode. We both look a lot different, and we both sound a lot different. Setups are a lot
For sure.
different. A
For
lot
sure.
different. But it's going to get to the point where I think every team plays international. I didn't realize, I think it's in Rio now, I want to say. So I know there's a whole like safety concerns, but from what I saw online of people who went last year to it, it was pretty safe. I think the whole green stuff 2 years ago kind of scared people, including myself, with the whole gangs and everything. But I think that's anywhere, honestly. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be stupid. Don't go out, in, inflicting riot or inflicting trouble.
Yeah.
Keep your head on the swivel. That's kind of the way world we live in now, and you'll be fine. But one thing is that Brazilians do not play about their sports, and not to get too off topic. For example, um, the pop star Chappelle Roan, whatever her name is,
Oh,
made
Chapel Roan? Yeah.
Georgine Chaperone. She made a former actually Arsenal player, Jorginho, his stepdaughter cry in Brazil. He plays for the biggest team in Brazil, who just won the league there. She made her cry. Since then, she's been banned from ever performing in Brazil. Brazil does not play about their athletes. I'll tell you that right now. So when they
Sheesh.
see Lamar Jackson play, they might, feel the same way about him because he'll put on a show. He will make them have, seen things they have never seen before in a football field. They may not play about number 8 in Baltimore. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think it'll just grow the brand even more. I think you'll see 8 jerseys in Brazil if they aren't there already. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it. I'm happy it's an away game. And I'll tell you this right now. I think week 1 will be either Monday night football or Sunday night football home because we can't play Sunday, during the day. And then week 2 we can't play at home because of the whole rugby game going on the night before. So we can either start off with 3 away games or home, away, away, and then home again. Just a little food for thought there.
Interesting. I didn't see it like that, Alex. Because I was
Yes.
saying yesterday on Quiet Storm, I was thinking, okay, maybe week 1 is going to be away at either the Steelers or in Houston. That was my thought process. But you're saying that we probably won't be playing away in week 1. You said we'll probably be playing at home in week 1. Why again? Lay that on me one more time.
The Orioles play at 1:35 on Sunday.
In week 1.
Yes. Yes. And then week
Okay.
2 is the Australian rugby game that Saturday. And I don't think it's smart. It's not safe to play on that same field 24 hours after our rugby game was there. I just think that's way too short of a turnaround as well. Unless we play Thursday, week 2 home. I just don't think that's going to happen. So we could play Thursday, week 2 at home, and you have a long trip to go to Brazil. So there's always that.
Okay. So you're saying if the Orioles play at 1:30 on Sunday, week 1, you're saying that we would still play at home? Is that what you were like?
It has to be Monday night football,
It'd have
or
to be
possibly
Monday Night
Sunday
Football.
or Sunday night, because it gives enough time for traffic and everything.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
And then the following week would definitely be an away game because the logistics of, the rugby team playing there 24 hours before.
exactly.
Got it. Okay. So you're thinking Monday Night Football, home opener on Monday Night Football against whom exactly?
I'm thinking either Pittsburgh or LA. For storylines only, storyline purposes only.
Yeah.
Ravens Steelers, new coaches, Chargers mentor against his old team.
Mm.
That's all I'm thinking about right there.
I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. I like that. I like that. I mean, again, I didn't because yesterday again on Quiet Storm I was saying I think they open up on the road, but with what you're saying here, and the only reason I was saying why they open up on the road is because in the past couple of years, the NFL has had us open up on the road against a very formidable opponent, right? So I don't know, but now that you're saying this, you're kind of swaying me here. So I think that's a very good chance that could happen, Alex. Steelers or Chargers. Honestly, which storyline do you think drives more ratings? Steelers, because with the Steelers, you have, okay,
Yeah,
this is the brand new look at the Ravens Steelers rivalry. They both kind of
yeah,
retooled over the offseason. And then with the Chargers, you have this is Mentor's last home. You know what I'm saying? Jim Harbaugh's team is playing against his
yeah.
his brother's ex team. Like, which storyline do you think drives more ratings? And let me know down below in the chat and the comments too.
It's going to be the Steelers. I would love to see the Chargers with the whole Mike McDaniel, their new offense, but it's going to be Pittsburgh, especially with the new coaches. And man, the last time we played them week 1, I want to say it was 2011, is when we blew them out 34-7. I think they caused like 5 or 6 turnovers. So give me that again. Can we please see Pittsburgh early in the year? There we go.
I'd love that. I'd love that.
Come on now, week 1. No excuses. Hopefully no I words. Like just full strength against full strength. I would love that.
Yeah, but absolutely love that. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Steelers, bigger storyline, or Chargers week 1, better storyline? Glaucoma says Steelers. JD says Steelers easily. What's going on, JD? Large man who eats cheese says, hey, PRP, great to see you in the Locked On Ravens Squad Show pod. How you guys doing this evening? Oh, yeah, I was in there watching our guy, Kevin Ostreicher, friend of the show. And Sam Njoku and Kadri Ishmael, they do a great job over there. If you're not already subbed to the Locked On Ravens podcast, make sure you subscribe to them as well, because they're putting out some really great content. But shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Let me see. Corey's in the building. What's going on? Corey says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Corey. Let me see. World Class says Steelers versus Ravens is still the best rivalry in all of sports. Alex, do you agree with that? I know you're a big soccer guy. All of sports, biggest rivalry?
Nah, I think that's Barcelona, Real Madrid. I think biggest rival
internationally, more eyes.
But like for USA,
yeah.
Let's just talk real quick.
Yeah.
Right, what rivalry in each? I mean, Yankees Red Sox is always gonna grab one, but that to me is, kind of dead. NBA, which rivalry?
And that's what I was gonna bring up. NBA, there's some dormant rivalries right now. Like Lakers Celtics has not really been the Lakers Celtics of old, when you had the Paul Pierce and KG versus Kobe and Powell, you know what I mean? Like we haven't really seen that. Outside of that rivalry in the NBA, there's really no huge rivalries that you can point to and say, like, I gotta watch that one. Now I will say this: Lakers play the Thunder tonight. I'm definitely tuning into that. Luka versus Shea, I gotta see it. Must see TV. Outside of that, though, man, I can't really think of any big basketball rivalries that are like popping right now. Football, Steelers Ravens, I think is at the top. We may be biased, but outside of that, outside of Steelers Ravens, it's definitely not Cowboys and Washington anymore. I think that one's kind of dormant as of right now. Are there any other huge rivalries that you could point to?
As growing up here, I think Capitals Penguins was always big. Crosby against Ovechkin. That was big, but Penguins kind of owned them, especially in the playoffs. 2018, the Caps got the better of them. I'm not too sure. I'm really not.
Yeah. I'm not too sure either. We might be cooking with. Steelers versus Ravens in America might be the best rivalry right now, like pound for pound.
I like Seahawks Niners. I think back to like the Kaepernick against Russ, and then more recently we kind of saw it, but the way the Niners went out in the playoffs sucked last year.
Maybe that rivalry is bigger on the West Coast, because me and you are East Coast boys. You know what I'm saying? So maybe out on the West Coast, they're thinking, oh yeah, obviously Seahawks Niners, duh. What are you talking about? Ravens Steelers? You know what I mean? What is Ray Lewis still playing? That they would hit us with one of those. But so maybe it's all relative to where you are and things like that. But regardless, I do think that the Steelers versus Ravens, pound for pound, throughout the country, no matter where you are, it's at least top 3. It's a top 3 rivalry, I would say, as of right now. Go ahead. Yeah, what you
Pick 6 says Rams Niners. Yeah, but the Niners just take over that stadium every time in SoFi. What? Rams, yeah. It was always good games. Rams, Niners, Seahawks, they'll give us some banging games this year, I think. If everybody's healthy, I love watching the NFC West.
Let me see. Maddie says Cowboys, Eagles, maybe. I can't put Cowboys, Eagles above Cowboys versus Washington. I just can't. You know what I mean? Growing up, my dad was a Washington fan, still is to this day, of course. That's a much bigger rivalry than Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys, Eagles may have been more competitive in recent memory, but in terms of kind of historically, I'd go Cowboys versus Washington over the Eagles. Shelly Shell is in the house, says, yes, you are biased. Yes, we are. Shout out to you, Shelly Shell, one of our members here in the chat. Shout out to you. Good evening. Let me see. Oh, Shelly Shell brings up a good point here. Bama versus Auburn is only big within the state of Alabama. I would tend to disagree with that, though.
The Ohio State, Michigan. That Ohio State, Michigan.
That's a big one.
Yep.
That's a huge one. Yeah. I didn't think about college. You got Duke versus North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big one.
Without Coach K and Roy, I used to be tuned in for all of them back then. Like,
Yeah.
2010s, I was always watching them. But with all the conference changes too, it kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah.
as somebody who grew up here in Maryland, like Maryland Duke, Maryland UNC, Maryland Wake Forest for college basketball, that was the ones you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Those were the good ones. Watching guys in that place.
Uh-oh, pick 6 with the membership. We see you in the chat, brother. We see you up here. Welcome to the Rain Gang family.
Yes.
We appreciate that, brother. Yes, sir. Okay. A large man eats cheese says Bears Packers. Bears Packers is another one where it's like, especially Bears Packers has the potential to be really, really entertaining. This upcoming season and seasons in the future as well, 5 to 10 years from now, because you've got Caleb Williams, you've got Jordan Love. What are you thinking?
And the coaches don't like each other. I'm adding that on too.
Yeah.
And Johnson and LaFleur.
I forgot about that.
I love that. That
was some bad blood, wasn't it?
Honestly,
I remember that.
Give me that over the little rah-rah friendship. I want hatred, and I think that's what brings the best of the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that conflict, that real deal conflict.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
For sure. Listen, guys, we got 36 people watching on YouTube live right now. Shout out to you guys. This is episode 395 of the Purple Rain podcast. Please be sure to like this video. We got 34 likes right now and 36 people watching. Can we get up to about 50 likes? Can we set that as a goal? Maybe a 10-minute goal, right? 50 likes. Let's see if we can get up there. Appreciate y'all again for coming through. And if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, again, wherever the like counter is at right now, just add one more to it. Okay. Add one more to it. We'd appreciate that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into some other things here. So we talked about Brazil. We talked about rivalries. Went off on a tangent about that. But Jesse Minter spoke earlier this week. And Alex, we did an episode obviously on Monday. I believe he spoke on Tuesday. And he said a couple of different things, that really kind of raised my antennas when I was watching. And I talked about it on Quiet Storm Sports the other day. But he talked about Lamar Jackson and how confident he is that he's going to show up for OTAs, which start in T-minus 4 days from now. And then there's also, the thing about Mike Green. He mentioned Rashad Bateman. He mentioned a lot of stuff. What did you mainly take away from that Jesse Minter presser earlier this week at the owners meeting?
I think he's very happy with his staff, much like all of, I think, Ravens fans are. He kind of, not say rave, but he was kind of a level below raving. Didn't want to get their heads too big. I think he's happy with who he has. I think he got his first choices for his assistants, his coordinators. Happy with that. I think getting a guy like Lombardi as well was big. And then, not to, kind of rant too much too, but I think the way he spoke about Mike Green was really interesting. I think he has high hopes for him, plans for him. And not saying, double-digit sacks, but at least, want to see improvement. I feel like Mike Green was, a one-trick pony last year. Maybe we can add something to his arsenal. Maybe he can be more than just what he was last year and using that bend. And then Jalen Hawkins as well is another one he talked about. I'm like, all right, you got your guy. Like, I think maybe EDC talked to him and Minter was like, I want Hawkins out there. I think he has big plans for him because that allows him to use Kyle Hamilton just however he wants to. So kind of stuff like that is what I was keying in on. This defense, I feel like he thinks is probably as good as being done. I don't think he needs to add many more players to it. And I think he just trusts his staff to elevate the play. I think he knows he has a very talented team, and he's trusting those guys, elevate them, considering what we had last year, which I felt brought those guys down. We've talked about the past couple episodes, how awful the offense was, not even getting 200 passing yards in Denver all the games, and then defensively not forcing turnovers and losing the turnover battle felt like every single game. So it was really good to hear him. Obviously, we have a couple more months to see it on the field, but as for what he's saying, I do like it. And to me, he wasn't speaking in riddles, which something that we've been dealing with for a decade plus.
The Harbaugh-isms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, none of that.
Yeah, very happy with what he had to say, man. It is refreshing. I think I saw somebody in the chat say that. Large Man Who Eats Cheese says it's very refreshing to hear from Jesse Minter. He loves hearing him talk, and I can't wait to see how he and his staff direct this football team. I totally agree with that. Let me see. My guy Bo Knows kind of touches on the Mike Green thing here. It says, much like Odafe Owe, Mike Green will explode when he's paired with a Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, I mean, you had Owe go to L.A. under Jesse Minter. And, opposite side of him was Khalil Mack. And Owe, got 10 sacks on a short year. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what Jesse Minter is going to be able to do with Trey Hendrickson on one side then the young spry Mike Green on the other side, who's going into year two. Year one, we can all admit a little bit of a disappointment, right? I mean, we kind of went into that year saying like, oh, we drafted him in the second round, but it was first round value. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is going to be great. He has 17 and a half sacks at Marshall in his senior year, but that was the Sun Belt Conference, right? And this is the NFL. So we kind of saw in real time him have his welcome to the NFL moments. And they weren't super like embarrassing moments. He missed a couple of sacks here and there from what I remember. But for the most part, they weren't super embarrassing moments. It was just like, hey, kid, you got to get your weight up. You know what I mean? Like, this is the big leagues now, right? You're not just going to be able to blow past Joe Schmo, who's playing left tackle, who has no plans of playing football 2-3 years from now, right? The guys who he was beating in college, maybe some of them went to the league, but a lot of them are probably working regular jobs right now. Let's just be real, you know. So I think going into year two, especially under a defensive-minded head coach who's going to kind of usher him into his professional, I guess you could say, era of his career, because he was very green last year, no pun intended. So I'm very excited for Mike Green for sure. So thank you for that comment, Bo knows, because that's very important, man. I think Mike Green is a very underrated piece that the Ravens have going into this year. Glaucoma says Jalen was a steal. Absolutely. Like my guy Alex said, man, I mean, when you have Jalen Hawkins and then Malachi Starks, who again, first round selection last year, and I expect him to take a step forward as well. You're going to have Kyle Hamilton basically just being that freaking Joker card. He's going to be the Joker card. I mean, you never know when he's coming, where he's coming from, but when he comes, I mean, he's going to trump everything, basically. So I'm excited as hell for that too. Now, Alex, let me ask you about this. What I really took from it, from that Jesse Minter presser earlier this week, was how he talked about the offense. And it's not just what he said in that presser on Tuesday, but it's also about what he said in the Ravens Wired, which came out last week. He is fully locked in on the offensive side of the football, and specifically Lamar Jackson being the focal point of the team. And see, what a lot of guys would do, when they come into an organization, especially defensive-minded coaches, maybe some older defensive-minded coaches would come in and they'd be like, you know what? This is my defense. You know what I'm saying? Are you asking me if we're going to punt on 4th and shorts? Yeah, I trust my defense. I trust my special teams. I trust my defense. He didn't say any of that. He said, no, 4th and short situations. No, we're going for it. We got number 8 back there. Like, he is my number one priority. I loved hearing that. From Jesse Minter about Lamar Jackson. It just shows that he's going to put the trust and the faith and instill confidence in Lamar. You remember I mentioned this on Quiet Storm, that Seahawks game back in the day when John Harbaugh asked Lamar if he wanted to go for it, right? And then, like, pretty much after that, you could tell the trust levels went from here all the way up here, and we were cooking. We were cooking after that. So I'm waiting for that first moment where it's like 4th and 3, 4th and 2, you know what I mean? And we're in plus territory, something like that. We need some points. And Mentor says, hey, look, Lamar, go do your thing. It's going to be a read option. I prefer you keep it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, whatever, cool. Maybe like 4th and 2, 4th and 1. And Lamar gets it. He picks it up for a big game-changing play. Oh, yeah. Chemistry and trust is going to go through the roof. So that's what I really took from it. I just love the fact that Jesse Minter seems to be like he's going to be more hands-on with the offense than we might have given him credit for before.
And can you blame him? I just thought of this. Mm-hmm. Jesse Minter has experienced what a lot of us Ravens fans experienced for the past couple of years. While his defense was making stops with the Chargers, what the hell were they putting out on offense here in LA? A Greg Roman offense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was probably sick of seeing that, sick of seeing the stale, stagnant offense that comes with Giro offenses. We know all about that. And if they were to go for it, it would be the stupid power plays. I feel like after they worked a couple of times, they got stopped. And they got stopped behind the line. They would just overload it and they would just blow it up. I think also with him, I think he's probably heard that, a defensive-minded coach. Maybe a little chip on his shoulder, like, hey, you know what? I'm more than just a defensive guy. I can help out offensively. And I'm all for it. I love it. And, him pairing up with Declan Doyle, I think goes to show, like, he will have a hand. Because Declan Doyle will be green. Minter is obviously green as well, but still has more experience than Doyle. I'm feeling good about that. And I think you're right. And I think when that 4th and 1 comes, 4th and 2 comes, maybe 4th and goal and he scores, Minter will be there jumping up and down. Kind of what we've wanted to see out of the coach for a while. We don't want to see the rah-rah. We want to see a passionate coach that, maybe he dot up that play. maybe he stuck his hand in there. So you know what, run this play, and it works. So that's what I'm excited for as well. I mean, let's make a great point. We haven't had the X's and O guys. We were crying for it, clawing for it, and we finally got it.
Yeah, yeah. And I also mentioned the other day on Quiet Storm, and I want to bring this to you. Like, I think just the checks and balances that Jesse Minter is going to be able to provide when it comes to, game planning and things like that. I mean, you think about, I watched an interview recently with Clint Kubiak, and Clint Kubiak said, and this really stuck with me. He said, I was terrified to bring my offensive game plans for the week to Mike McDonald because when I handed it into him, he was going to look at it and be like, okay, love this game plan, but here's every way I would shut this down, and then it would force him to go back to the drawing board and kind of make sure he's covered in all bases and things like that. And then you come out on game day ready to rock, and you have contingency plan after contingency plan after contingency plan, and I feel like it's going to be the exact same thing with Jesse Minter. Declan Doyle and Joe Brady, they're going to come to Jesse Minter, on a Wednesday or a Thursday before an install, whatever, and be like, hey, look, here's the offensive plan for this week. And Jesse Minter's going to go, huh, very cool. Here's all the ways I would shut that shit down again, and so go back to the drawing board and figure this one out, and I feel like that's going to make us more prepared on game days. And we're not going to come out to what we've seen in the past in certain years in Baltimore under the Lamar Jackson era where, the first quarter, the team is just kind of sputtering. You know what I mean? The offense is sputtering. We're not really getting much first and second drive. One of them's 3 and out. One of them we get one first down and the drive stalls. I want to see the Ravens coming out swinging and firing, right? Because they've covered all the bases. They have all the contingency plans they need, right? And they're ready for any look that a defense can throw at them, So I kind of came to this conclusion the other day, Alex. I said that young defensive-minded head coaches very well might be the future of this league. And for that very reason, you know what I mean? Because not only do they have their hands and fingerprints all over the defense, but they're young guys who aren't necessarily set in their ways. Like, hey, this is my defense. Offensive coordinator, you worry about that. I worry about the defense. We're going to run it on game day. No, it's like, no, I'm the head coach. I'm a defensive guy, but I'm the head coach. So I want my hands in on the offense and everything. And they're also innovators too. So again, I think that this is going to be one of those years where the Ravens kind of are able to throw a new punch, so to say, at teams, kind of like first year of Lamar Jackson full-time start in 2019. MVP year. First year with Todd Monken as offensive coordinator. New punch, MVP year for Lamar Jackson. I think it's going to be no different this year, and I'm super excited about him. And I love everything that Jesse Minter's been saying.
Yeah, I think that's why we've been talking about this first game. I think it's kind of, who are we going to play when we see this
brand new
team? What's up, Cam? How you doing? And that's kind of why we've been speculating on it. So as for the offense, I mean, can you imagine if it's week 1 at home, Monday Night Football, and we come out with not a 1-play touchdown drive. I'm talking about maybe like a 5 or 6 play. We have an explosive play in there, a big Henry run, and it's just one of those drives where it's like, all right, this is the offense now. The bank would be absolutely just on fire.
Yeah.
Just loud, hitting crazy decibels. I would love for that to happen. That's why I kind of want the first game to be home. So Minter's first game in front of the fans. Hopefully get a win, get the win out your way, and just keep it going. Business per usual, but wishful thinking.
There's one thing we need to do this year, and something that we have not done the past couple of years, is start off the season 1-0. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it changes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get that very first week, you get all the jitters out, you leave that week 1-0. It's like, okay, now our feet's wet. We can kind of get rolling here. We have a win under our belt. We're not trying to play catch up and things like that. That's what the Ravens need to get back to. But we'll see who the NFL decides to give them it. But again, going back to what you said at the top of the show, Alex, I mean, it's very intriguing thinking that, the Ravens logistically speaking, it would make the most sense for the Ravens to have a home opener Monday Night Football, you know what I'm saying, either against the Steelers or the Chargers. Might have to throw a little bit of money on that. I don't know if anybody's got any prediction markets or anything like that, that has that. But, I think that there's a very solid chance that comes to fruition, Alex. I really do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some other news that we got today.
Okay.
So this was from, a former Raven, Earlier today, I saw him say something like he wants to come back, or what was it? What did he say? Here it is, right here. Jadeveon Clowney open to a Ravens reunion, and I have the quote pulled up here. I'll read it to you guys. This is Jadeveon Clowney on potentially returning to the Ravens. He says, "Quote: I enjoyed their locker room. definitely would be open to going back to Baltimore, playing with Lamar. It was a great time for me. Clowney is now 33 years old. He tied his career high in sacks with 9.5 during his 2023 season under Mike McDonald with the Ravens. And then to take it a step further, somebody on Twitter asked Lamar Jackson earlier today, hey, look, like, do you like the idea of Jadeveon Clowney coming back to Baltimore? And Lamar Jackson said, and I quote, definitely. Right. So, Alex, I want to toss it to you on this one. How do you feel about Jadeveon Clowney at his big age of 33, in terms of NFL years, right? And coming back to Baltimore? What are your thoughts on that?
Do it. I don't see why you shouldn't. It does not take a significant amount of snaps away from your young guys like Tavius, young guys like Mike Green. They would still get their time. And to me, you have now replaced Draymond Jones and Kyle Van Noy, and you still have a chance to draft an edge rusher if he were to fall to you. Actually, I do like a lot of these edge rushers as I've been doing videos. There's some of these guys here that could be day two where, like, I think it's like second round and third round, there's a lot of talent there. You can get a good edge rusher there. But I would be all for it. I don't think it would be a lot of money. I think he would cook in a mentor defense, as we've seen, other guys in LA do, and then what we saw McDonald do. I just don't see the negative in doing it. I'm all for it. It won't be a huge sum. I don't think he'll, be a diva. He'll come and produce, and I think he'll be a great leader in the locker room. Just bring it back. Give it to me. I'll take it.
Yeah. He's like, I would feel the same about going back and getting a John Simpson like we did. I'd feel similar about going and getting a Kevin Zeitler, who's still a top 10 pass protecting guard in this league. All those guys were really good for the Ravens when they played. So I'm in agreement with you here. Bring back Jadeveon Clowney, because what bringing in a Jadeveon Clowney does just for the pass rush in general, it basically gives you, the Ravens, a utility belt of pass rushers, of edge guys, right? Outside linebackers. So you have Trey Hendrickson, who's going to be your anchor guy, especially on obvious passing downs. He's going to get after the quarterback. All the energy and attention and focus is going to be shifted towards him in terms of offensive line, protection schemes, things like that. But then on the other side, if you need a guy who can kind of do it all, stop the run, get after the passer a little bit, Tavius Robinson, who, this episode is actually dedicated to him, by the way. So shout out to Tavius. But then you also have Mike Green, who's a young, kind of like very, very intriguing prospect, because he could turn into overnight. I think Mike Green could turn into a star pass rusher in this league, but he's still a little bit green. Again, no pun intended. So you have Tavius Robinson, jack of all trades on one side. You have Mike Green on that same side, rotating in and out with him, who's just, if you have him playing enough snaps, I think he could develop into a very nice player. But then you also would have a Jadeveon Clowney, that veteran. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you really, really need one, that's when Jadeveon Clowney was the best for us. Jadeveon Clowney was really, really good at fourth quarter sacks. I'd love to know exactly how many he had that year. Probably be an interesting stat, but
What year?
2023.
He had the 9.5.
I'm saying like fourth quarter sacks.
Oh, fourth quarter.
Yeah. That's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit deeper. Fine. It's all good if you can. That's a deep stat right there. But you get my point. I do remember multiple times in that year where it was fourth quarter, going was getting tough, and Jadeveon Clowney got the quarterback on the ground. So having all of those different types of guys, I think, would give you a more complete edge room. And outside of that, I mean, this defense would be cooking. This defense would be absolutely cooking. Jesse Minter at the helm of it all. It's literally twice the amount of talent that he had in LA. And I don't think that's like a stretch or an exaggeration by any means. Real quick, we do have over 80 people watching. We got 88 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Please be sure to not watch the video, but like the video. If you're watching on YouTube, we'd appreciate that. If you're watching on the good old Xter, please give us a follow on X. It's my account that is running from, but Simply AS10 is mentioned on this exact same post. So if you do not follow him, make sure you follow him. If you do not follow me, make sure you follow me. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Did you find it?
I have some stats for you, but I did find it. I found it. He had, and I'm going to go from the least to the most. He had a half sack in overtime, 2 sacks in the second quarter, 2 sacks in the first quarter, 5 sacks in the fourth quarter.
This is what I'm saying. I knew I wasn't crazy. It was a lot of fourth quarter sacks from Jadeveon Clowney. And what we've been looking for this whole time, what we were just so egregiously just missing last year was a closer. And I know we brought in Trey Hendrickson to be that closer, but you got to think on third and long situations, teams are going to sell out to not let Trey Hendrickson sack their quarterback. So you got to have somebody on the other side who can win their one-on-one matchups. Jadeveon Clowney is going to be licking his chops, seeing just this one-on-one matchup against this right tackle or whatever it'll be, and Mike Green, again, I think that he can develop into a nice talent, learning from a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, learning from a guy like Trey Hendrickson, of course, being coached by Jesse Minter, man. It would just be the perfect storm on defense. And like you said before, it'd be cheap. He wouldn't ask for a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? I think he probably even regrets. I mean, I get it. It was him going home to Carolina and stuff like that. But I think he probably, if he could run it back, he probably would have stayed in Baltimore. Yeah.
So Void asked his playoff stats. In that 2023 year, he played in 2 games. He had 4 combined tackles, 1 sack. And then in all his games combined, he's played in 7. He has 2.5 sacks, 1 interception. And some more stats from last year, because, is what have you done for me lately? Free agent edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney in 2025 recorded a 16.7% pass rush win rate, ranking 12th among 112 qualifying edge defenders, minimum 150 pass rush snaps. That's just last year. 12th out of 112 for that pass rush win rate. Now that's with hopefully Jadeveon with them, across from Hendrickson, Travis Jones, hopefully DJ Reader, and a Jesse Minter defense, and Anthony Weaver defense.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really does seem like.
Why
tell me why not exactly. Tell me why not Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't. Listen, this past season, man, I was so over Kyle Van Noy. I was, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And shout out to him for all he did in Baltimore. He had one of his best seasons in Baltimore. Thank you so much. But that last season, man, it was painful to watch. You had one good play every game. Really, really, one good play and 3 good reps of effort. That was about it that you got from Kyle Van Noy last year. So definitely wouldn't want him back. But Jadeveon Clowney seems to be the type of guy who is like aging very, very well in this league, And I think in Baltimore, where he's already familiar with a defensive-minded head coach like Jesse Minter, who can, really turn back the clocks on players. I mean, we saw what he was able to do in LA with certain guys. So, I would love it. I would absolutely love that. Let me see. Go ahead.
Add on real quick. The remaining free agent edge rushers, Clowney has the highest pass rush win rate. Next behind him is Yatora Gross-Mato, 16.3. Joey Bosa, 15%. Dante Fowler, 14.3. Derek Barnett, 13.1. Hassan Reddick, 11.5. Kyle Van Noy, 7% pass rush win rate last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's abysmal. And that was the entire Ravens pass rush last year, just to be fair, right? It was the pass rush win rate was probably bottom 5 in the league for the entire unit. Void brings up a point here. Rotating in late game against worn out offensive linemen. Boy, I'm telling you. I mean, think about it. I know they want to get Mike Green. They want to get his reps in so he can start to really be a good return on investment for the draft capital that was spent on him. So imagine Mike Green is coming at you all game. Not Tavius, but Tavius Robinson, is coming at you all game. Trey Hendrickson's coming at you all game. It's fourth quarter. Your team is down by 7, right? You really got to get some points here. Now you have to defend, if you're a left tackle, right? Now you have to defend Jadeveon Clowney, who's fresh off the pine. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be all over you. So, I mean, look, man, if they did that, I think it would really be like kind of like the piece that really, and again, all of this is granted, Nnamdi Madubuike comes back. All of this is granted that. But if he does come back, if the Ravens were to pick up Jadeveon Clowney, it would be like that Avengers movie when Thanos put the final stone. He put the final stone in his gauntlet, right? And he got all the power. That's what it would feel like. And Jesse Minter and that would be Thanos, I guess, metaphorically. But yeah, man, I'd be excited as hell for that. I would. So
yes.
Let me see.
And just sorry.
What up, Mike? What up, Mike?
Yes. I just think if you were to get Clowney, and you mentioned the fourth quarter thing as well, I just thought of Trey Hendrickson on the podcast last episode, just saying, you know, how he's peaceful. You know, it's where he wants to be. That, along with, you know, Clowney, Tavius, Mike Green, and hopefully Namdi, Travis Jones, maybe Aeneas Peebles get some freaking play time. Who knows? There's a plethora of talent out there that we don't even know what's on this defense. So we can move on now. Just thought about that. Just Trey Hendrickson over there, just in his Zen mode.
Yeah,
the fourth quarter.
I would love that. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so we had this too. So earlier today, I read this online. It says Stefon Diggs has been linked to the Ravens. This is per Bleacher Report, so I'm gonna trust the source here. You know, we've kind of talked about this before here on this pod, Alex, and, you know, about Stefon Diggs potentially coming to Baltimore. And the name of this episode, as you guys can see in the thumbnail, it's called The Return. Now, we know Stefon Diggs has never played for the Ravens, but he is a Maryland native, so he would be returning to his home state if that were to happen. Alex, I'll toss it to you first on this one. Are you in or are you out? I feel like I know where you're leaning on this one, but what are you thinking about Stefon Diggs potentially coming to Baltimore?
Ask me this question 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe even 24. I would have said yes. As of now, no. 1,000 yards last year. With all respect, he had a great year. I don't see it. And I have great confidence in someone I've talked to. He will not be a Raven. I can tell you that right now. I will be willing to put money on. He will not be a Raven.
You said somebody you've talked to?
Yes. I was chatting with somebody, and they've told me, you know, they have a very good source. And I'm like, he's not going to be a Raven. He doesn't want to come here due to our offense. And don't know how you can say that when we don't even know what our offense is going to be. But I don't want you on boats with cocaine and with escorts. You know, so we don't want two different things, and you don't want us, and we don't want you for that case. So, with all due respect, he can go somewhere else, and he can still kind of like have this weird hatred towards us, because he was acting really weird against us that game against the Patriots, like taunting, and then him and Cardi B were outside, kind of telling us to go to Cancun and everything. So, yeah, but no, it's not gonna happen, and it shouldn't happen.
Miss Fancy Pants says in the chat here, we are in our bad guys era. Bring in all the criminals. I'm here for it. And Miss Fancy Pants, listen, I couldn't disagree with you more on this one. I'm not a Diggs dude. I'm just not. I'm not digging the whole Stefon Diggs potentially coming to Baltimore thing. It's just, number one, I don't think it's a great scheme fit. I don't. I think that he's not the perfect receiver. At this point, if we're gonna go out and get, you know, a free agent wide receiver, or hell, even trade for a wide receiver, don't get anybody that does not pair perfectly, and I mean perfectly, with Zay Flowers. Am I right?
100% right. 100%. I just... Oh, you still there, son?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah,
all right, cool. Yeah, Jabari says Diggs has too much drama attached to him. No. Yeah, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze with this one. I think the money he'll probably be wanting is a little too much. I'm just not a fan of this. And he can go elsewhere, maybe go to the Titans. I feel like Titans would be a perfect fit for him. A younger quarterback, could possibly, you know, make a surprise splash like he did with the Patriots and help out Cam Ward and maybe make it a wild card. But Baltimore, no, I think that bridge has passed.
Yeah, 100%. Too much drama, way too much drama attached to your boy Stefon Diggs. Definitely. And then there was also the thing, like you mentioned, he was acting weird. There was a whole thing with Cardi B and all that. I don't know if you remember that, Alex. And she was like kind of, yeah, you remember, right?
I'm not going to forget that. No,
Definitely not. Yeah. Definitely not. So yeah, we're out on that. Both of us are out on that one, 100%. JD says, "Bring me Tyreek Hill." I mean, what do you think about Tyreek Hill potentially coming to Baltimore? You know, I mean, he's out there.
I think he's going back to Kansas City. I think that's just kind of a really bad kept secret. I think whenever he gets healthy, he'll go on back to KC because they could use him. I mean, look at their receiving core now; it's not good. I don't think he'll be a Raven, unfortunately.
As it stands right now, and I'm also out on Tyreek Hill again. If it's not going to be a guy who perfectly complements Zay Flowers, I'm cool, right? But as it stands right now, I want to ask you this, Alex. Do the Ravens have a bottom 10 receiving core in the NFL?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I mean, just not too long ago we were saying they had a top 10, and now it's a
Yeah.
bottom 10. I mean, right now it's Zay, Bateman, Tez, and LeJontay Wester.
It gets super dicey after Zay, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm a Bateman
Right.
guy. You
No, it
know
does.
that.
It
Yeah.
does. I think you can say it does. I think we have to go through each team and say who we're better than. I have a couple of teams I know we're better than, but
Okay.
yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, I definitely think we're bottom 10. I definitely think we're bottom 10. Even you look at some of even the bad teams have
Yeah,
higher end wide receiver ones than the Ravens do. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I think about teams like the Jets, you know what I mean? Like they have higher end wide receiver one talent there. Teams like hell. So let me ask you this. Do the Ravens have a better wide receiving core than the Carolina Panthers?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you think that Zay is better pound for pound than Ted McMillan?
Yeah, 100%. I, I,
100%?
I can't go for
I
one.
don't know
I'm not
about
going after
that
1
one.
year. I'm not doing after 1 year because
He came on strong at the end of the year, though, Alex. I don't know, bro. And he proved he could do everything. I'm talking red zone threat. I'm talking vertical threat. I'm talking possession receiver. He proved he could do everything. I mean, a three-level receiver like that, I know it's been 1 year, but I mean, the guy went in the first round for a reason. I think that he could definitely be deemed pound for pound better than Zay Flowers.
so did Zay. And Zay's first year had Bateman and OBJ there, and Mark Andrews. He wasn't getting all the targets. I can't put him after 1 year. Maybe 2 or 3. I can take that argument, but he could go and have a really bad year next year. I can't
That's
do after
fair.
1 year.
That's fair. That's fair. I can see that. I can see that. Glaucoma says in the chat, "Don't get him started today." No, just don't hurt me. I'm just saying, like I don't know. Anybody? What other ones are a very interesting comparison? So you would say the Jets have a
Packers.
better wide receiving core?
Let me look at their core. I know they have Garrett Wilson, who I really like. I like him a lot as a receiver. Let me see the rest of
Yeah,
the core.
yeah.
I mean, their team is just Gary Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, Isaiah Williams. Ugh, that's not good. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
A.D.
gets
Mitchell,
dicey for them too. Yeah,
it's
80
Garrett
after them.
Wilson, and a bunch
Yeah,
of. That's not looking too hot.
yeah, it might be neck and neck with what the Ravens got. I
It's like
don't
you have a
know.
good number one receiver, and after that, it's not that good. But I'm
Yeah,
taking Bateman over A.D. Mitchell.
you said
Even
the Packers.
the Packers none of their guys can stay healthy.
That's
Romeo,
true.
I mean, Dobbs is gone now. He left.
Watson's still there, but he gets banged up
Watson,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah, he can't play more than like 4 or 5 games. Yeah, Dontavian Wicks. Yeah, it's
That's
not.
about even with us. I'd say that's about even with us. All things considered, about even. I don't even know which way I would go on that.
I go
I'm just
Ravens.
trying to be real. I'm just trying to be real because, like, again, love Bateman, love him to death. I mean, Bateman knows that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, this podcast, we are pro bait. But, based off of what we saw last season, we can't just kind of blindly say, like, oh, yeah, he's totally better than, I don't know what Dontavian Wicks did last year in terms of stats compared to Bateman. I'd be interested to know. But it just, I don't know. That one kind of seems on par with the Ravens too. What?
30 catches, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's even right there. Him and Bate.
Because
That's
Bate had what, 16 catches or something like that?
for like 2 change and like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
what it's
So
worth,
about even, I'd say. Outside of that, other teams, I mean,
better than the Dolphins. I'm telling you right now. Real quick, we talked about UFL. I was saying how the UFL, the Stallions have a better. They might have better receiving core. They showed out for me. They showed me a little something. Some of the guys in UFL, but the Dolphins, yeah, I think we're better than them. They have me and
yeah.
you out there.
Let me see here. So there was one more I had on my mind. Arizona, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Great mind. He might be gone. He might not be a Cardinal come week 1.
Uh, you think so? I've been hearing some rumblings about that, but I don't think that they move him though. I think that they give him a couple more years. I think he deserves that. He's shown flashes, and he's
Yeah.
clearly their best receiver. So I think whatever quarterback they get up in there, which is who's their projected starting quarterback right now?
Jacoby Brissett,
Oh nah, yeah, nah.
and then
They
Gardner Minshew.
yeah, nah. Arizona, y'all need to draft a quarterback. It's time.
Yeah.
It's
He,
time. I don't know what pick they have this year, but it's time.
and then you have Trey McBride basically rotting over there. I think a top 3 tight end, maybe top 2 in the league. I think he's been
Mm,
fantastic for them for what it's worth.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe go out and get Ty Simpson. I don't know. Again, I don't
yeah.
know what Arizona their draft position is, but y'all need to go and get one of these quarterbacks. Again, I don't know where Ty Simpson's going to land, but if he's available when the Cardinals are on the clock, I'd pick up Ty Simpson because I really, really like Ty Simpson.
The
But that's just
Raiders.
me, though. That's just me. Anywho,
Yeah, the Raiders'
anywho,
core isn't that good. I
yeah,
mean,
Raiders.
but we're kind of comparing like this is guys in the top 10 picking, top 5.
Yeah, I think based off of the fact that we're naming like these very, very
Yeah.
subpar receiving cores, and we're kind of like, are they better than the Ravens? Goes to show the Ravens probably have a bottom 10 wide receiving core as it stands right now. As it stands right now. Now, if they go out in the first round, and they do draft a Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or if Tate falls or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then I could see, okay, maybe they're a little bit of a level above, right? But as it stands right now, man, I think they're bottom 10 for sure. For sure. Cardinals have the number 3 pick. Yeah, and I don't know who they're projected to take, but if I were them, I'd have to go quarterback because there's no way you go into, you're still paying Kyler Murray buku amounts of money, right? And he's no longer rostered by you. You got to go cheap at quarterback. Get a guy for the future. Get a Ty Simpson. Hell, I mean, if you go 2-15 this year, so be it. So be it. You got your quarterback of the future, rebuild through the draft next couple of years, and you'll be back to dominance, right? Especially once that Kyler Murray contract gets off the books. But yeah, maybe I should be the Cardinals GM. By the way, guys, like the video. 70 likes right now on the video, and we got 87 people watching on YouTube, 135 people watching total. Shout out to you guys watching over on X as well. Shout out to you. And also, shout out to everybody listening to the audio version of this podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify as well. You guys hold a very special place in our hearts. So make sure if you're on one of those platforms, like the podcast and rate the podcast and maybe leave a comment. Those things go a very long way, especially on YouTube as well. Everybody leave a comment. Okay, so what else do we have, Alex? What else do we have?
Let's see. I think we have a lot of it. Rumors. Take a look here.
Oh, I wanted to ask you really quick because we didn't touch on this earlier. Should all the Ravens show up for OTAs? That was a kind of topic of discussion on Tuesday. Jesse Minter was asked about, hey, do you think Lamar Jackson, his status for being at OTAs, do you think his status is up in the air or not? And he basically gave kind of like a fluff answer. Whoever wants to be there will be there. We'll see, that sort of thing. What do you think? What's your take on OTAs April 6th? Should they be there or not?
I want everybody there. If this was, a run it back team, I get it. But this is a brand new team. I'm going to hold everybody accountable from the ball boy up to, the highest paid players on the team. I expect them there. Obviously not there for the whole time, but to just show up and kind of familiarity is huge and just kind of, get the head in the books. So, yeah, I want everybody there.
Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier this week, man, I mean, this league is very, very close in competition. Everybody's damn good. All the coaches are super smart, right? Some look smarter than others. Some players look better than others, but the margins are so close for competition in this league. You have to get a leg up, right? It goes back to the whole Mamba mentality that Kobe Bryant kind of brought to the forefront of sports culture and things like that. Like, you got to have that mentality of, I'm going to wake up 2 hours earlier than my opponent. I'm going to train 2 weeks, 2 months earlier than my opponent, right? I'm going to stay at the gym an hour later than my opponent just so I can get that much better, get that edge, right? I'm going to stay in the film room for an extra day, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think that is going to be what it takes if this team ultimately does want to win a championship and hoist that Lombardi at the end of the year in February, because outside of that, I mean, I think you just have to cover all bases. You have to do everything that you can in your power, right, to get a leg up on the competition. I do.
Yeah, I'm glad we're in agreement. I was expecting that. We want everybody there. Everybody. I mean, I don't see what the crazy asking that. And I know they're not playing football. They're not going to be, in pads or anything. But I think
Yeah,
it's big. I think if there's this true togetherness, it's right here. I think I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but think about when we are on Zoom all the time and just meeting people over the phone or meeting people like when you're face to face, you gain an actual like interaction, a better relationship is built. That's
for
what I
sure.
want, and you can dive into the books there, meet with your coordinators, get a sense of what they want. Yeah, I hope everybody's there. I would love for it.
Would love that. Absolutely love that. Um, and I think the chat probably agrees as well. Let me see. ISO says not too pressed about workouts. Mike says he won't be there, guys. I think Lamar will be there. And historically, I saw Glaucoma bring it up in the chat. Historically, when there is a new offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson does show up, at least for the initial stages of OTAs. He might not stay, the entire week or the entire 2 weeks that they got it going on, whatever. But it is going to be important for him to set an example because Lamar Jackson is not only the quarterback, but he is the tenured veteran leader of this team. He's one of the most tenured veterans on the team now, behind who? Marlon Humphrey and Mark. That's about it, right? He's the third highest tenured player on the team. So it's like you kind of have to show up. You kind of have to show these guys like, hey, look, I'm going to lead us, right? We got a brand new head coach. He's got a brand new philosophy. We've got for crying out loud, a 29-year-old offensive coordinator. Yeah, we got to get with this guy. We got to get on the same page, quick, fast, and in a hurry. That way, when September rolls around, we can hit the ground running. Because like I said in the beginning of the show, the last thing that I want is the Ravens to start off in a hole like they did the last 2 seasons, right? Last season was just absolutely atrocious, starting off 1-5. I don't foresee the Ravens doing that again, but I don't even want them starting off 0-1. Some people say, week 1, you lose, no big deal. First 3 weeks is the real preseason of the NFL. Nah, not for this team. Not with how competitive the AFC is and is getting, right?
Yeah. No, I don't want to go, negative anytime during the season. Not 0-1, 1-2. No. No. Get a leg up. It starts now. I know it may seem stupid, but all that little stuff adds up.
Yeah.
Little wins add up to bigger wins, and I'm all for it. So I hope everybody's there. Would be good. I know, like I said, there's no football, but I think it's bigger than that. Head in the books, playbooks, what you want to see. It's kind of a head start to training camp and the mini camp, Get it out of the way now so when you get to the mini camp, you can get right in the ball, less of the other talk. So I'm all for it. But come April 6th, we'll see. And if people aren't there, I'm sure there will be rave on social media. There will be a NFL will tweet about it, ESPN will tweet about it, and it's going to be headlines again. Just expect it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm definitely expecting it as well. And I'm going to be in agreement. I'm going to be like, hey, look, man, I wouldn't be able to defend Lamar. I would not be able to defend Lamar if he did not show up for the initial stages of OTAs. I probably wouldn't speak out against him because at the end of the day, this is a 2-time MVP who we know in September he's going to be ready to go. But if you want to walk and lead by example, man, I mean, this is what you got to do. It's what you got to do, So that's that. I think we've covered all of the football topics so far. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. There were a couple of things that happened around the league. Stefon Gilmore retired today, had a really great career. Shout out to him. You also had we also have a super chat donation. This one's coming from Monty, making it rain here in the chat. We appreciate you, Monty, dropping the 2-piece. Monty says, and play starters in preseason, a couple of drives. Oh yeah, I mentioned this the other day on Quiet Storms. Let's talk about that. Alex, what are your thoughts on Jesse Minter, whether he will or will not play starters in the preseason?
You're kind of keeping it close. I think they may get like 2 or 3 drives in the game. That's it. Honestly, man, they may get 1, but I think they will play in preseason. Because he mentioned like the rookies and the younger guys, but I can see him, trotting them out there.
I swear Lamar has to do more than any QB. Next they're going to want him to coach. This team's been poorly built, but hey Lamar, fix it. Lamar needs to get to Florida ASAP. OTAs are not negotiated.
Appreciate that, Ruth. Mad Ross, appreciate you for the $10 super chat donation. You guys might be wondering, okay, what was that voice? Again, I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Whenever somebody sends a donation, $10 or more, Ruth will read it aloud to us. That's Purple Rain Ruth. But Mad Rasta, I'll read it back again. Swear Lamar has to do more than any quarterback. True. Next, they're going to want him to coach. True. This team's been poorly built, but hey, Lamar, go fix it. Lamar needs to get to Florida ASAP. OTAs are not negotiated. So here's the thing. OTAs are negotiated in his contract, if that's what you're saying. I'm not exactly, because I think it's if he misses it, he misses out on what? $750,000,
Yeah.
something like that. He misses out on like $750K, which, to Lamar making 30-40 million dollars a year, it's like, okay, this is still optional. For us Joe Schmoes, that's like a crap ton of money, and I'm gonna be there for sure, but maybe not so much for Lamar. He's balling out here. Shout out to our guy 8. But no, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Lamar, but I'm hoping that this coaching staff this year kind of alleviates some of that pressure by way of leaning into Derrick Henry when it's time to lean into Derrick Henry. So fourth quarter of a close game against the Patriots, where they're literally doing fake punts because they're afraid and terrified of Derrick Henry. Let's keep him on the field and not put the pressure on a Lamar Jackson or whoever's playing quarterback at the time. Also, other things as well, kind of like just trusting Lamar, of course, in short yardage situations. We talked about that earlier. But then the defense, right? That defense has got to be Lamar Jackson's best friend. And Jesse Minter mentioned that in The Wire, like a great defense is a quarterback's best friend, because not only can the defense get them the ball back, they can also flip the field with turnovers, right? And our turnover differential was horrible last year. I think one of the worst in the league. So that's got to get up as well. And I think we have all the pieces to do it. So hopefully this year will be Lamar Jackson just kind of being that cherry on top. Everything else is just a well-oiled machine. But then on top of that, a well-oiled machine is again, I always say this, a demon at quarterback who's just going to be the ultimate equalizer when everything else goes wrong.
Yeah, I really can't say anything or add on to that. It's well said, but with the defense, like you said, like if we can get the ball in our own half, that'd be lovely. Interception, fumble. We just never had good field position at all, and it felt. I hate to say this, but even our special teams. Our kicker, Luke, man, he was not the best on the kickoffs either, and they were getting good field position. It felt like when I was there, it's like they're always starting at the 35 or 40.
Can't have
60
that.
yards, 30 yards, now they're in field goal range. That's got to be fixed. And we talk about offense, defense, but the special teams, that wasn't the best. Punting was good. Now we have no punter now. We're going to go to this workout. Where's our punter at?
Oh, I heard that the Ravens, they worked out a punter, or they met with a punter, something like Jeff Yerk, I want to say his name was. Can't exactly remember where he was from, but hey, man, got to get somebody in there who can punt that ball. I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to lose Jordan Stout, especially so early. It felt like he was going to be a staple, you know what I'm saying, in this Ravens special teams unit, much like, guys like Sam Cook who came before him and stuff like that. We're just kind of used to having a set it and forget it piece at punter. So I don't really like the fact that we're rotating, punters and whatnot, but hopefully CoCap, Anthony Levine Sr. can get those guys right. He's now the special teams coordinator. So we'll see. Thank you so much for your super chat donation, Mad Rasta. We appreciate you, brother. We do have another one. Let me see where this one is coming from. Let me see. Looks like it's coming from Stretch 52. What's going on, Stretch 52? Appreciate you for coming through, dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Says donating for the giveaway goal. W show as always. Appreciate that. I forgot there was a goal on this stream here. I think we've got 3 super chats. It was like a 5 super chat goal or something like that. Shout out to you guys, man. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. We appreciate all the donations, all the likes, all the subscriptions, all of the memberships as well. Because we said, got that membership, the giveaway coming up real soon here. Real soon. Episode 400 is right around the corner. And like my guy Alex mentioned a couple of pods ago, it might fall on draft.
Yeah,
I think we're still on track for that, no?
So it'll be 2 next week. That would take us to 397. Might be 401. Might be, unless we skip the Monday show and make the Purple Rain report. We can actually have 400 for that. Yeah, it could happen.
That'd be dope. Yeah. Episode 400 celebration, picking at number 14. It's going to be just a night of 4s. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be great. So make sure, if you have not become a member of the channel already and you do want to qualify for our free giveaway that will be taking place on episode 400, please be sure to do so. Let me see. What else do we have? Normally some news drops while we're literally on stream here. Let me see.
Kirk Cousins is a Raider now. And the Raiders have been getting bent over by agents all year.
Yes. I saw a really, really funny tweet earlier today, Alex. It was like, Kirk Cousins must be going into these contract negotiations with bomb strapped to his chest. That's true. That's true. Because how does he keep getting paid over and over again? But you know what I really thought about that? I mean, this is just basically an insurance policy for if Mendoza is not what he's cracked up to be. And I want to ask you about Mendoza as well, because he had his little throwing session, at his pro day the other day. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, these throws don't look that great. I mean, you're throwing against air and stuff like that. Like, I can see in the NFL, DBs breaking on that ball from a mile away, and coming back the other way with it, right? And then they show the close-up cam of Mendoza putting his head down, taking his chin straps off and things like that after he throws another interception. I could just see it. Call it hate, but I don't see what everybody sees in this Mendoza kid. You know what I'm saying? Like college cachet and pro cachet, two different things, two totally different things. Not to say he won't ever be anything, but I think in the first year he's really going to struggle. I do.
Oh, Caleb Williams struggled. And you mentioned, the whole throwing deep. Kyle Bowler. Hell, Jamarcus Russell, #1 pick, because he could throw off his knees.
Yeah.
you need, it's more than that. It's more than just throwing a clean pocket with shirts and a t-shirt on.
Facts.
So, I hope he does well, but I'm in agreement with you. It's like, I think that was more so for the receivers, catching the passes, but it's hard to really evaluate him from a pro day. He threw the ball.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of pro days either. I'm not a fan of pro
No.
days. I'm not a fan of you being super comfortable in your environment, cozy in your own college dome or whatever, throwing the guys that you have all the chemistry with and, things like that. No, get uncomfortable. Go to the combine and work with guys you've never worked with before so we can see at least somewhat what it's like when you're outside of your element, because that's all the NFL is. That's all the NFL is, right? A little bit different from college. Right? There's no student sections and things like that. No, everybody's here because they're here to watch you perform. They paid their hard-earned money to take time out of their busy weekends on a Sunday to come watch you play, and it's either shit or get off the pot. And you're gonna feel that pressure very, very quickly in this league. So again, like you said, I hope the kid does well, but I could see him really struggling, much like a lot of quarterbacks do, a lot of young quarterbacks do in their first season. Not to mention he's with Vegas. Vegas is, I mean,
get that line right first.
Yeah.
He'll be on his ass a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Another super chat donation. Speaking about the line, Monty, appreciate you, Monty, dropping the 2-piece in the chat, making it rain here on this episode 395 of PRP. Monty says they are giving away a number 77 jersey.
No.
The Jordan meme.
Yes. No. Absolutely.
Nah.
And it just, I get so rattled because this guy still is not on a team.
Yeah.
He will be on a practice squad in August. He will not be on a roster.
Yep.
And people look at the Ravens like, how is he starting?
Hey, man, us into the bar fans, we don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? We told the world that Daniel Falele did not deserve to be a starter, but he went uncontested for 2 years. And John Harbaugh basically sat up there and said, we were crazy for 2 years. Gaslit the hell out of us. Right? That was such a toxic relationship looking back on it between the Ravens fans and John Harbaugh, between the whole end of the bar stuff, between the whole, if you're Super Bowl or bust, that means you've never won anything. Oh my goodness. All of the things that he said, man. Wow. It's just all coming back to me right now.
He got it, and that's why I think I still will continue my little agenda towards him. Like, I will keep on tweeting about his failures. I'm going to. I don't like him. I don't like the way he left. I don't like the smug attitude of his, and I'm wishing nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Let me see here. Let's see. We'll take a couple questions here in the chat. See, Maxima 347 says, "What's up with Manning?" I guess you're talking about Arch Manning. Haven't heard anything about the Browns and KS. Who's KS? Who?
Maybe.
You said who? Oh,
I mean, he was there last year. I know they're, but I think it's Shador's team now. He switched to 2. He's a single digit now.
Oh yes,
I think Monken likes him a lot. He's their starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, Shador did switch numbers. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Shador, he's their starting QB.
Yeah, and it's like I want to see Shador do well. It's just the fact that he's in the division. You know what I mean? Like,
not against us though. Not against us.
Definitely not against us for sure. Appreciate you for coming through, Maxima. I see King Lee is in the chat. What up, King Lee? What up? Void says a winner and a good dude that sells. Other than that, I don't think he is anything special.
Mendoza. Good story.
About Mendoza, yeah.
Good story.
Yeah.
That's really adding on to it as well.
Bo No says Ravens traded a first to get Kyle Bowler, but Ozzy is the GOAT drafter. Ooh.
Everybody's had some misses, but yeah.
Again, that's one of those. No, we're not gonna talk about
No,
that. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
but
saying?
Ozzy couldn't draft a receiver as well. He just wasn't good at it.
Yeah,
But he has
yeah.
that one. Cowboy.
Let me see. Void says a 77 jersey or a loosely sealed box of camel spiders. Which is worse? This is a question here. I feel like we used to get questions like this. Was it from Void? Remember we used
It
to
was
get
from
like some
Void.
weird. It was
He
from
would get with
Void.
them. Yeah.
Damn, Void,
Yeah.
you've been around for a minute, man. True
Yeah.
Purple Rain pioneer. Appreciate you, Void. And he's a member too. It's only fitting.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, the fact that I even have to think about this, I might
Coming
go
from a
with the
person-
loosely sealed box of camel spiders.
Coming from a person with a lot of bad jersey choices, I'm taking the 77 just for the sheer collection. Because I have a lot of bad jerseys.
Really?
And just obscure ones, yes. So I'm gonna
It's
take
like
that.
it's like a thing for you. Just gonna collect. Got to catch them all, huh?
I have a Terrell Pryor Raiders jersey in 2013.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're going for here. I see what you're going for.
Yes.
But yeah. Let's see. Oh, remember we talked about before the show. We talked about last week.
Yes.
Earlier this week about the whole Key and Peele skits things and like what's our top 3. For those of you guys who don't know, Key and Peele is like a sketch comedy show that was on Comedy Central from the years of like late 2000s to mid 2010s, somewhere in there, and iconic show, legendary show, a bunch of legendary moments from it. We mentioned an episode or skit last pod, but I wanted to ask Alex, like, what are your top 3 favorite Key and Peele skits?
Oh, I mean, I have ones I reference a lot. Oh my gosh. I think I Said Bitch. I think that one.
Oh yeah, that's my girl's favorite one.
I like that one a lot because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. I like the one when they're trash talking in the fight and it gets a little like extra and it gets very vulgar, but I think and he's like imitating Mike Tyson. I think that's
Oh
one.
yeah. That one was.
It's
good.
like I quote that just a lot.
He's like he went real deep on that one. He was what did he say? He was like, I'm gonna make you my lover. And I'm gonna take you to dinner parties, and they're gonna be out around friends, and we're gonna watch a movie, and I'm gonna let you pick the movie, even though you always pick the movie.
Oh my gosh.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I always reference the Loco one, I think. Like when he's like he's like I'm Loco and like he did everything but like he just tried to be tough and he wasn't tough. That's a good one.
That's a deep one. I remember that. I've seen that one. I don't think it was one of my favorites, but I do remember that one. That one is funny. Was that the one where he was like it was like the Mexican gangster one?
Yes.
He was
yes.
yeah. I remember. Yeah. For
Yes.
sure.
Yes. What
So
about
you gave
you?
us 2, right? Or did you
I
give
mean,
us both? Okay.
I didn't give the 3. They're just some. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have like the one the boxing. I'm gonna have that up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have the insult comic up there. When he's all burned in a wheelchair.
Oh, that was hilarious.
He's like, make fun of me, make fun of the burns.
Make fun of the burns.
Yes. That one is definitely up there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm putting the soul food at number 3. It's just two guys trying to just one up each other. Because I would to this day, and I'll be like, "Do you have a cellar door?" And I'm like, "What's a cellar door without gravy?" And I will nonstop reference that whenever there's gravy around. And yes,
He said, "Y'all got ham hocks."
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want. Give me a big old plate of ham hocks.
And
some
I will
collard
mention
greens.
Wendell when you ordered the pizza. That's
I was gonna say that one.
okay.
That one was
Those are my
funny.
3 honorable mentions.
Yeah, that one was a good one. That one was good. Let me see. Faheezy says the UFC fighter trash talk was funny. Yeah, that's the one we mentioned that one on Monday's show. That one was hilarious. He also said the slap ass one. There were a couple of those ones. They had a couple of like staple ones. They did slap ass a couple times. I don't know if you remember the Barack Obama ones. Those ones were pretty good. There was the famous one where he's walking through the press conference or whatever, and he's shaking hands and whatnot, and like people love to re-spoof that and re-meme that one. It's actually hilarious. But my favorites, I would probably say, The Hell's Kitchen one, that one was hilarious. I mean, just going back and forth, you never know, because that's how it is though. That's how it is. Like they were so spot on with a lot of their comparisons. That one was good, and then there was also the you mentioned the pizza one. Where's the other one I liked? I love a lot of them. I love all of them. Of course, there's the iconic ones. There's the substitute teacher ones. There is you mentioned the East and West Bowl. Those were good with the names. They did multiple of those. Those are classics. Dang, it's kind of escaping me right now. I know there was like one or two more that like really had me. Oh, the dueling hats one. You talk about guys trying to one up one another. Oh my, that was the original like one up, bro. He came out with that with the fresh snapback. Then bro came out with the hat still in the bag, and then he thought he was doing something. He saw the dude still like the woman in the shop still making the hat on top of his head. Like that was bro. They went crazy on that one, bro. That was wild. And then I know there's more. I know there's more. There's just so many. You know how they always say like, oh, there's always one you haven't seen. Not me. Nope, I've seen them all. That's why they're like all like, it's hard to like just kind of reference one at a time. I love them all though.
I have one too, which I think as private experience, it's when Jordan Peele's like the older guy, and he's like walking down the street, and he's like trying to tell the kids that they're doing like get out the streets, and he's like always has like the candy in his hand, shaking it, like eating it, and he's like brothers, like what are you doing? Like stealing a damn TV, and they're helping a guy like move a TV, and he's like a couple of guys walking around with their pants down, looking like some clowns, and they put on the hat and the nose like which you are. And that's a really good one. It's just kind of, they just play like the older guy who thinks he knows everything so right. Just they're such good actors.
They play. I mean, it was sad that show got canceled. I know they wanted to go their separate ways and whatnot, and in directing and acting and stuff like that. Which they both had really good careers since then. I think Jordan Peele a little bit more than Keegan Key, but both of those guys massively talented. There's just so many skits, man. And I know like as soon as we hop off stream here, I'm gonna like remember like the one or two that I'm just like, oh my god, like how could I have missed that one? But that's just how this thing goes, But let me see. Void says high on pot news. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Great one
For sure. Faheezy says the Obama ones are legendary. Definitely. I said we got Steve Loop in the chat. What's going on, Mr. Loop? Appreciate you for coming through as always. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video. By the way, we got 82 likes right now. We still got over 100 people watching live. We got over 100 people watching live across YouTube and X right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video. Subscribe if you are new here to the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. And if you're watching on X, please make sure you give us a follow as well. We also have Chris, one of our members here in the chat. Chris, and the M stands for member here. Appreciate you, Chris, so much. Let me see what else we got.
I have two more. I forgot.
Go ahead.
The Continental Breakfast.
That was a good one. I'll have what he's having.
Yes.
I'll have what I'm having. Yeah, that's what he said.
And he's like, obviously made in Brussels, and like it has nothing to do with Brussels. I think one of the ones I remember first watching, the Michael Jackson one, when he dressed up as Michael Jackson, does all the mannerisms for the Halloween party. And he's
can't dead. Break character.
Yes. And like sad moon walks away. I think I still quote that one to this day. I quote so many of these. Like I think it's a staple of like growing up.
Yeah. Oh, there's also the one where because they did the ones where it was like the two husbands and then the wives, like you mentioned the I Said Bitch one. But there was also the one where they were playing like the games. Remember like the party games? And like he admits he's gay. Like that shit was hilarious. that was hilarious. The charades game. And then the other family one where Jordan Peele's like kind of like the loser brother who like stayed at home and whatnot, but like Key is the one who like went out, he's like marrying a supermodel or something like that, and he's like, well, welcome home, the prodigal son's return, and he's like super sarcastic about everything he's saying. That one was hilarious. I love that one. So many again, man.
Like if you're ever bored, if you like ever have time, pull some Key and Peele skits.
Yeah, just do that.
You won't be upset. It's such a good show. I just wish they were still doing it.
Me too. But listen, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it right there. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 395, as we are rapidly, ever so rapidly approaching episode 400 of this show. Again, on behalf of me and Alex, we appreciate all of you guys' support, all of the likes, comments, subscriptions, memberships, donations, all that good stuff. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. It does not go unnoticed. And that's, again, why we kind of put this up here. We want to make sure we recognize everybody who's supporting the channel. We truly do appreciate y'all. And again, this has been episode 395. We'll see you guys on Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Quiet Storm Sports. Thinking about doing a member call-in episode. So if you do want to call into the show, chat it up with me tomorrow. Make sure, if you're a member, you tune in, and also turn on notifications for this channel as well. That way you're notified anytime we go live here at PRP, whether it's the Purple Rain Podcast, the main pod like you see right now, whether it's Quiet Storm Sports or Sutton Reactions, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Again, this has been episode 395, but with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Yes, and those who celebrate, happy Good Friday tomorrow, and happy Easter. Have a safe Easter as well if you are celebrating. And yeah,
yes,
stay positive, test negative.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 395 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.